Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. So we're underway here. This is the final game of the preseason. Uh, I'm going up against Droylsden, who actually just netted a goal against me to close the lead down to 1. So as I've gone through preseason, uh, at this point I haven't made any staff changes, and nor do I look to be doing so. I have a small staff, but it's a good staff, so I'm going to go ahead and stay with that and save the money. Uh, Team-wise, I have a really strong team already. So at this point, I still haven't signed anyone, though I have agreed uh, to a contract here with Josh Simpson, and I expect him to sign here real soon. Beyond that, I have 2 players that are on trial. Uh, one of those I'm pretty sure I will not be signing, but one player after that uh, may just. Oh, speak of him. Simpson just scored the goal, and that's his second of the game. There he is with the header coming in on the back post. Uh, Simpson looks to fit in real nice at around 4th or 5th best player on the team. And provide me some good depth at the center of midfield. So at this point, when it comes to the decathlon, I have already had the first episode, but no points were scored. Reason being for that is this is preseason. Preseason does not count. So we're going to have to take it at least into the game after this one before we can start accumulating any sort of score for the competition. In there. All right. Trying to round up the subs here. I got about 20 minutes left in this final tune-up game for the season. And you're going to play out of position, but let's get you on the pitch anyway. One big change that I made, I did change the captain. It had been Sean Newton, but Sean Newton was pretty weak on his leadership skills, though teamwork was pretty high. While he is slow, we have the most dangerous forward in the league, and his teamwork and leadership skills are considerably higher. Wow, pointing to the spot, huh? I guess I'll take that, but that didn't look like much of a penalty to me. Let's see if Rankine can score, and he does. That should just about seal it. We are up 4-1, though, again, it's preseason. Results do not matter here, but we have definitely dominated. Throughout the preseason, we've actually played higher level competition through most of it. Droylsden's the first time where we played a lower division team, and we've completely dominated play. Though they did get that one goal right at the start. Oh, and there's a 5th. Parslow, the center back. Parslow is not currently starting, but I have a feeling he will get quite a few starts this season. But Sakar has been starting in the place, and Sakar hasn't given me any reason here during preseason to put Parslow in instead. But Parslow, if he keeps bagging goals on corner kicks like that, I might just have to get him into the game. And that's full time. 21 shots for the game. The result was never in doubt. I'm going to go passionate here and say I'm very pleased with the result and the performance. Look at morale here. Morale's looking pretty good as we wrap up the preseason. And we're getting ready for our first match coming up against Telford United. So let's go ahead and take a look at the squad here real quick. This is the general manager slash assistant coach's recommendations, his reports on the players. And current ability wise, our top player is Danny Rowe. Excellent center back. He has done very well throughout the preseason. And anchored with fullbacks David Ferguson and Josh Law beside him, making our defense exceptional and allows us to play uh, the controlling, attacking style that should be able to get us a lot of goals this season. Aiden Conley is getting pretty close to coming back, though he will miss the beginning of the season, and we might have to be careful bringing him back into the squad, though he will provide a new option in that the front group behind the striker, as he can play all three positions there, both wings and the center attacking mid. Parkin, his rating's a little bit lower, but that largely is due to the physical attributes. The mental and technical attributes place Parkin well above others in the league. And those attributes, especially the mental side of it, is what earned him the position of captain. There's our new, or soon to be, hopefully, signing Josh Simpson. I don't believe he has any other bids in beside us. Yeah, no other bids, so that should we should be able to wrap him up here any day now. So here's our calendar as we head into the month of August. We will definitely start the season quickly with almost 2 games every week. Definitely going to need to use squad rotation. The training report. Most of the team is happy with training so far. We've focused on team cohesion, building into this new role as coach. The intensity has been pretty high, and I'm going to need to adjust that down as we start the regular season. Tactic familiarity, our 4-2-3-1, doing quite well. I don't think I've ever seen a squad pick up so quickly the familiarity levels, and we're pretty much ready to go on that one. Our 5-3-2 is going to take a little bit longer to get to terms with that, but still not looking bad at all. Squad fitness not quite there, but I've got most of the players into the 90% range, and especially the first 11, so I think we'll be in good shape. So let's go ahead and take a look at my profile here, as we didn't get a chance to do that in the first episode. So tactics set up for the 4-2-3-1 as primary. Coaching style is defending first, but I will always attack when possible. Very low reputation starting out, just a Continental C license, which is what is recommended for this 6th tier of English football. My coaching attributes that I picked, I went for defensive and tactical, along with the working with youngsters. By applying more to those attributes, I could do a lot to help the team in training in those categories, and then my other attributes will develop over time. In mental, I went largely the same way. Determination, that's going to help me with the board of directors trying to improve facilities as we move up through the divisions. That's going to be hugely important. Adaptability is very low. If I do get fired from this position, I may be in a whole lot of trouble trying to find another position and build from there. But really, the goal is, especially as it's a custom team, Decathlon FC, I want to stay with this team long term, get them all the way to the Premier League. Player knowledge, youngster knowledge, very low. I rely on my assistant coaches for that. Discipline, that could get me in trouble a little bit. but I did apply some points to it. My man management and motivating are up there a bit to help push the team along and especially get them out of a rut if we get into a bad run, which if you've ever played FM18 before, this game very much is streaky. Teams can get hot and cold in a heartbeat. Uh, and at least in lower league management, for me, it tends to be those cup games. You get on a streak, you go 10 games without a loss, and then you go up against a much higher division team and play super well, but lose by a goal, and then morale is shattered, and the losses just start coming. So it looks like with Telford, we're looking at a 4-2-3-1. I think we'll have the advantage, and so we should be able to match up pretty easily with them. Ignore the 22nd place. It's the first game of the season. If we look at Telford real quick, looks like they were down in 17th last year, so we should definitely be favored to win this game. Now that we're getting into the regular season, I should actually start preparing individual matches, and it looks like attacking movement is where we should go with that one. Home game to start the season, that's a nice way to get things rolling. You know, they keep leaking stories that I'm going to sign Connor Thompson, but for 40,000, not a chance. There we go. Josh Simpson, ready to sign. $3,800 per month. That is quite affordable for a player at this level, despite him coming in as one of our top players. Appearance fee just $190. Pretty low loyalty bonus too, so he came in quite affordable for us. If we do happen to win the FA Trophy, we'll have a bit of fees to pay out there. The only other contract thing we've had so far was re-signing, I believe, Danny Rowe, was it? No, not Rowe. Who did we sign? Oh, Aiden Conley. There we go. Our injured star. I wanted to keep him happy. He did, in his new contract, get a bit of a pay raise from where he was, but it's still only 8% of our team salary. So for a major player like that, especially in the attacking threat when we've got a strong defense, not too worried about that. We had some money to spend there. Team of the Year bonus, that could add up to be a little bit. Again, winning the FA Trophy, that bonus could add up. But here's the big thing. He did require a minimum fee release clause, but 450,000. At that, it makes me pretty happy that if somebody comes in for $500,000, that's a pretty penny for the club. All right, so we're a couple days away from our first game of the season and our first chance in FM18 to get some points on the board in the Decathlon. So the fan reaction to the signing of Josh Simpson is pretty good, 65% in favor. They seem to be pleased with his signing, and they do see him as a first teamer, which was what his contract said. Okay. I'm not going to change our tactics. I do tend to go for consistency on this. Decathlon Gamer going for debut as head coach, at least in competition. And we got a decent turnout expected for this first game of the season. Close to 3,000 expected. Our stadium has capacity of just over 7,000, so that should, as we move up through the divisions, that should help a little bit to keep us afloat before we need some expansions or new stadiums. On the promotion odds, we did receive the highest promotion odd, and obviously that was before Simpson sided with us. We were favored at a 3-1 to win the league. All right, so we have a press conference for new signing Josh Simpson. And of course, I'm delighted to welcome him to the club. Well, I think he's going to be ready because he already played some games on trial with us. Definitely a central midfielder. We are his 6th club. He does have some League One experience. And yes, first foray into the transfer market. We'll look into more signings. And can he win games? I wouldn't be disappointed if he doesn't, as long as somebody else steps up. Great respect for him. And it should be a boost to the whole team, because they definitely are looking to win the league this season. Back to the reports. Let's see where these other two guys are at. Smith and Denson. These are the other two players that I brought in on trial. There is some room for improvement here. There is some flexibility on position, though he is an inside forward when I'd prefer a winger. But on the left side, he does play naturally as a winger. Nothing natural as striker, so he's really a one-position horse. I'm going to let him go. Let's go ahead and terminate that trial. And how about Smith? Decent first touch. He's got kind of the skills he needs for the role, but he's not a very well-rounded player, and short of a defensive mid position in my current formations, he's only good for 2 positions. Though the advanced playmaker is what I would like to have, but he's lacking in the role of a center mid. Potential ability is pretty good, though. Well, if he signs a non-contract, I might take him on. What would he like? Yeah, see, a hot prospect. We can get him super cheap. What are we at, though, on the budget? Payroll budget. I have 525 is all we have left remaining. I don't think I have room to sign him. Wonder if he would take a non-contract. Or can I not do a non-contract? Can't. Okay. No, I'm not going to sign Smith. So that looks like only one addition to the squad. I did look at the goalkeepers a bit, and they actually played pretty well through the preseason, and we have such a strong defense in front of them. Uh, well, it certainly helps to have a strong guy between the posts. We'll be okay without him. All right, let's go ahead and handle the briefing. Yeah, Smith's gonna be gone. Looks like Conley's almost ready to come back. Average atmosphere. We're finally getting into real games. They're going to listen a little more intently. Yes, we're going with the 4-2-3-1. Good. Team's happy with that. We're going to retain possession. And we're going to look for the overlap. And let's get one more in there. Keep up the tempo. All right. All right. So here's our review of the expectations for the season. Promotion by winning the league. That is absolutely our focus this season. FA Cup, FA Trophy, pretty low standards in terms of team bonuses. I set the cups to a small bonus and the league to a large bonus. It is absolutely our focus this season. We have a pretty healthy transfer budget, and there is some wiggle room in moving that over to a payroll budget. So I can increase that. We could pick up another free transfer if we need to. Uh, Aiden Conley, he's been getting his fitness tests before each match, and he's not ready yet. It's still probably going to be at least a couple weeks before we get him in. But with that, we are just about ready to go. Here we go with our first game of the season, which will be next time. So that does it for this episode. I am Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record.